people aren't prepared for you to speak a certain way or react a certain way to certain situations. Um, Whether people understand or not, I am very strategic about everything that I do. I think all people should, especially a lot of us men, you know, because if we are too emotional, we tend to lose ourselves and we lose ourselves to other people. You see, when you are way too emotional on certain things, people tend to learn how to control you, and they control you through emotions. You know what I'm saying? The emotions are what they do. Um, a lot of times, as a individual, you know, um, you have to make the opportunities that you have in life better and better and better. What's going on, Rain Woman? Yeah, because one thing about me is that I've always kept it on a logical level. There are times where, I'm not so logical. Y'all know when I do streams, I go off the cuff sometimes. But that's more being entertaining than anything. It's not that I'm just losing it. It's more of me just being entertaining. You have to be entertaining. You have to show people a face, you know. But they will get bored of that face eventually. So switching it up every now and then doesn't hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep things fresh. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to being a skeptic, there is a whole community on YouTube called the Skeptic community. I was sort of back and forth in that community when I first started, when I first took the red pill, when I first saw a whole new world than I knew. Because I wasn't on YouTube like that heavy until 2014. I was on other social media platforms. But when you're able to watch content of other people, listen to their stories, and you get to learn different perspectives, it really changes you. It really shows you that there is a whole world out there that you need to understand. And there's a lot going on in the world. There's so much going on in the world today. And I just like sharing my perspective with all of you. I like to be able to be that person who brings a certain perspective that you haven't heard before. That's one of the things I like about making video content, is that I'm able to bring a different perspective. As a black man who considers himself a skeptic, I think I've always had the skeptic gene. One of the things that my father always would tell me is don't trust anybody. That's what he told me, and it always stood with me. Because you cannot be the most trusting. You have to read people. The best ways to maneuver these days is to be able to read people and to understand their movements and the things that they do. And in being a skeptic, you learn to be skeptical of everything, no matter what it is. Sometimes be skeptical of yourself if you feel like you're not making the best choices possible, Nothing wrong with that. Now, I'm very hard on myself. You know what I'm saying? Very hard on myself. And because of that, I do overly critique the things that I do and say, because like I'm always thinking. I'm always trying to figure out certain pathways to the success that I want. That's the only thing that consumes me is how successful I want to be. I'm always consumed by that. It pushes me to move forward. And you see, dating, I can admit that lately I have had a wall up, and it's been because when you have gotten red pilled, you don't just talk about being red pill. You are the definition of a red pill man, And you're not just gonna fall for anything, you know? So you're going to be careful when you're dealing with certain women in the dating market. You just have to, man. Now, do I not trust anybody? I mean, there's people I do trust. There's people I do trust. But then there's people who will go out of their way to prove to you that they're not trustworthy, you know? So you do have to be skeptical of the people around you, especially if you feel like their energy is off, you know? If you feel like they're not around you for the right reasons, you know? Because people will be around you if they can get something from you. But if that genuine love isn't there, then you are wasting your time. We have to get back to having genuine love for the people around us. Doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, but we can still have the love for each other that can help us all grow, you know? And I'm all for that. And I want y'all to understand that. Like, with me, I'm not the type of person who takes for granted the lessons that I've learned in life. What's going on, people? Jay the Black here. Make sure you go to carmarshall.com. They are a sponsor of the channel with over 100,000 new and used cars. Online, you can go and find what you like. They'll negotiate it, and you can get you a good deal. There have been pivotal moments in my life where I've learned things that have changed my perspective, that has helped me, you know? We can always learn to help each other and give each other advice, you know? The littlest things can always help someone's mood, you know? It's all about helping the people around you, you know, just enjoy life, you know? There's just too many bitter people out here. There's too many bitter people out here, you know? And these people want safe spaces. These people want to ruin everybody's fun, you know what I'm saying? And you can't allow them to do that, you know? So when it comes to people and human behavior, just read it. Just read it. If the energy is off, if the people don't seem to be genuine and around you for the right reasons, those aren't the type of people that you should deal with. Those aren't the type of people that's going to bring you the type of happiness and fulfillment that you want, you know? And we do have people who, well, at first approach, they're all for, you know, what you're trying to do, but they step back and it's like they're not really there for the right reasons. Now, when you look at media, news, things that go on, you have to be very skeptical. You cannot believe everything you read. You can't follow every ideology just because it gives you a pass. We have to be able to grow and progress beyond the social boxes that we've been put in. We've been put in social boxes, man. We need to get out of those social boxes by, you know, any way we can get out of them, we need to, because we need to be able to be comfortable thinking for ourselves, you know? And a lot of people, especially a lot of black people, aren't comfortable thinking for themselves. They follow the groups because they don't want to be ostracized. And I'm not afraid to be ostracized. Why do you think I only mainly make my own content? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not afraid to be on my own. I'm not afraid to be on my own island. There's other people who don't want to be alone. There's other people who'd rather walk around following people that they know does not have their best interests at heart. We should want to do research. We should want to understand what is going on out here. That's the only way you're going to be able to really help yourself to evolve. And without knowing the world like you should, there will be no way for you to truly evolve, you know? And that's with being a black skeptic. You know, when you're a black skeptic, you look at things so differently because you're black. because so long you were taught, so you have to basically reteach yourself certain things because you realize you were taught wrong. You have to change a whole perspective. And it's tough at first because you are going to be alone. You know, it's not fun when you're by yourself. I understand that. But you also have to look at this. You'll be a happier person because you're living your truth, you know? You're living your truth. The lie, we were taught a ton of lies, you know? Who to vote for, you know, who cares about us, why the community's in the condition that it's in. You know, what's going on with the parents? Why aren't women with the men they have children with? You know? Who has the best interests of everybody in our communities? We almost have to look out for ourselves, you know? We have to be able to be skeptical. There's nothing wrong with questioning what is going on in society. It doesn't mean that you are a conspiracy theorist. It means that you're willing to ask questions that nobody else wants to ask. You got to be able to ask those questions nobody else wants to be able to step out in front instead of step behind, you know? The world is such a big place, man. You know? You don't have to conform. You really don't. You can go about your life being happy knowing that you are who you want to be. What's going on, people? Jay the Black here. Make sure you go to carmarshall.com. They are a sponsor of the channel with over 100,000 new and used cars. Online, you can go and find what you like. They'll negotiate it, and you can get you a good deal. See, me, my personality, I'm constantly, you know, trying to figure things out. Once something piques my interest, I go full on to try to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? If a certain subject matter piques my interest, I'm going to research it. I'm going to figure out clues. I'm going to solve that problem because, you know, I'm a Pisces. We love to solve problems, you know? So I'm a bit of a problem solver. I want to know the truth about everything, you know? Whenever I see certain things, I'm always thinking in my mind, is it bullshit? Is it not? Because you have to be very careful how you process information these days. Because there are a lot of lies and misinformation being told out there. You have to make sure that you don't get caught up in it. So when you look at certain things, right? Like for me, I'm willing to be my own man. I don't follow anybody. I've never allowed myself to get caught up in being a part of a group because groups can be broken up easily by taking out the leader. Defeating the leader of any group will dispel their ideology. It will dispel their belief system, the belief system of the people who follow them. That is why it's not wise to be a follower. It's not wise to see grown men be groupies of other men. You better stand on your own too before the person that you have thinking for you completely gets destroyed. You know? Shout out to Turf. So skepticism is a tool of the righteousness. Yes, it is. And that's why I've been fully a skeptic for a couple years. That's why nothing gets past me, you know? I'm always researching. I'm always looking into things. Just because I don't speak on certain things does not mean I don't know what's going on. I know everything that's going on because I'm a curious mind. And I don't want BS around me. I'm willing to take the risk of being ostracized instead of being a part of a group with a ideology that's detrimental to me and that's not going to get me very far. I'd rather be on my own island, you know, while everybody's, following this person, that person. I'd rather just be a skeptic. I'd rather just follow my own path. In 2018, you still have adults trying to tell other adults how they should believe, what they should believe, who they should follow, who they should trust, who they should hate. So I want people to understand that when I make content and I say certain things, it's coming from my perspective. I'm not copy and pasting nobody's ideology. I'm following my own creative mind. I'm not the most political person. Like, you're not going to see me talk too much politics. That's just not me, because I understand the way politics is these days. It is more gray than it is black and white. So understand this. It's up to you to accept the truth being out there, to understand that groups are not the best thing to do, because you'll get caught up and you'll lose yourself, because you'll have other people thinking for you, telling you who to vote for, what type of women you should date, how you should dress, So I stand alone, That doesn't mean I don't have people that don't have my back. There are plenty of people who have my back. They're just not, so vocal about it, but that's by my choice. Because I could be putting this person here on my channel, this person here, this person. I don't need to do that. Strength is not always just in numbers. Strength is in how prepared you are for what you're trying to do, in the confidence of knowing that you are prepared. That is what strength is. Strength is in believing in something and fighting for it. I believe in people being able to say what they want to say and not having to be basically handcuffed by the thought police. Because the thought police is always going to try to keep you from thinking for yourself, from living your truth, and you can't let them do that. What's going on, people? Jay the Black here. Make sure you go to carmarshall.com. They are a sponsor of the channel, with over 100,000 new and used cars online. You can go and find what you like. They'll negotiate it, and you can get you a good deal.